What's going on, people? Welcome back to JSTV. I'm back again, just come off Tony's channel. And now, Tony, it's our minds. How are you, Tony? You good?
Yeah, I'm fine, John. I'm fine. Just watched the end of that game and can't
Yeah.
believe he should have scored that from Georgia. How he missed that, I do not know. He only had to keep at a beat and he put that over the bar. So, yeah,
Yeah.
difficult chance, but he should have scored it, really. Should have had on target at least.
Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree, man. But it is what it is. And they go to live to fight another day in the third game. Whether they make it or not, it's another different story. So, guys, like the video, like what you watch. Make sure you like this channel. Make sure you hit the like subscribe button. Also, if you like the super chat, it's open, it's just 99p. If you want to become a member, the link is in the title as well, in the top of the chat. Click on that, 99p it is. And also as well, I haven't been on the stream for about a good week now, so I'm back again. So it's good to see us back on as well. So yeah, Tony. I mean, look, we're going to talk about England. I mean, look, it's not been great, has it? The first start, number one. Number two, right? I mean, the game against Denmark was completely utter farce. Yeah, we just could not get it over the line. We were poor, Tony. Absolutely shocking.
Yeah, we were. I mean, game I thought we might win and make qualification a little bit easier. But again, it's England. We go ahead through Harry Kane, goal, poacher's goal. But look, I was disappointed when they got the equaliser, but I thought, okay, second half will come out. Let's see if we can change it up a bit. And we just seem to sit back, and we've got to stop sitting back. We've got to start pressing and going forward. Now,
Great.
we need to make some changes. Tuesday, Alexander-Arnold needs taking out that team completely. He's not a midfielder, he's a right back, let's be honest. Yes, it might work when you're playing the likes of Malta or Gibraltar, but when you're playing the likes of these teams in the Euros, especially Denmark, who, let's be honest, look, they are not a bad team. They are a good tournament team, Denmark. They got the semi-finals of the last one. So they're no mugs. Okay, Eriksen's slowing down. He's not a quick player anymore, but he's still a danger. But on Tuesday, hopefully Southgate makes changes. He has to. He has to if he wants England to win this group. Changes being made. Alexander-Arnold out of midfield. Drop Bellingham back in there and put Foden in as the 10 and put Gordon on the left. Because Gordon not only gets forward, but he tracks back as well. Or second option is you drop Alexander-Arnold and Foden, because Foden's looked terrible so far. I'm sorry to say, and if there's any Man City fans out there, I'm very sorry, but I think he's looked absolutely piss poor in this tournament. Yes, he's great in the Premier League, but to me, he's not doing it international. So then I would drop them two, and I would again put Anthony Gordon on the left. And then in the midfield, you go for one of three. You can go Manu, Gallagher, or even Wharton. Play Wharton in that DM role beside Rice, giving Bellingham the number 10. Wharton, we know, can put good balls through. So again, I would say that would probably be a good move, but I doubt he'll throw Wharton in. So you may throw Gallagher in, but Alexander-Arnold's got to come out of that midfield role, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I could kind of agree, Tony, because I think Gareth Southgate, in my opinion, I want to see one or two changes, but I don't think he will. He'll keep the same team. That is the thing, because he's just so stubborn in his tactics as well. Many other managers would have changed it up. Nangs would have changed it up. Yeah. Deschamps would have changed it up. Yeah. Spain would have changed it up 100%. And I'm sure Spalletti would have changed things up as well. But this manager, right, I think it's a disgrace. I mean, this guy, right, seriously, he just hasn't got a clue. He's too cautious, number one. Not really that.
Yeah.
He's just not bold enough to be England manager. And this is the thing. I think he's too scared of losing. That is the thing. I know people say we had a poor start, a slow start in the group stage. We'll get better as the tournament goes on, right? But we need to start now. We need to put a stamp on it. We need to make a statement. And Tony, we haven't done that, mate.
Thing is, John, this is a mirror image of the last tournament. The last tournament, we beat Croatia 1-0 in the first game at Wembley. Then second game, we had that horrendous 0-0 draw with Scotland, which was a poor game, let's be honest, when Stones hit the post after 5 minutes. Very poor game. Um, Gilmore had a good game for Scotland that day. And then we beat Czechia 1-0 in the third game to qualify. And this is the mirror image of that group, of that tournament. So it may be the fact again, we scrape through the group stage and then we get better in the knockout stages. I don't know. I know these group stages sometimes can be cagey because teams don't want to lose, because if you lose one game, it's like, oh God, 3 points lost. We got to get the job done on Tuesday. Slovenia, they've been good in this tournament. They've had 2 draws, Serbia and Denmark. So, look, I know Mugs are successful, who's not as we all know. I still expect England to go and win this game as long as they approach it in the right manner. That's what they got to do, approach it in the right manner.
I agree. Just go out there, give it a go. I don't mind getting beat as long as you give it an effort. Simple as that. Make sure you smash the likes as well, please, people in the room. Also, I'm near closing to 11,000 subs as well. And I've got one of Gary as well. Hi to you, Gary. Hope you're well. We've got an Evertonian as well in the room by the name of Tracy. Hi to you, Tracy. Hope you're well. And yes, we've been speaking on DMs as well. And I mean, what's your take on Mint here? We're going to touch on Mint as well. I mean, Tracy's in the room. She's a big Evertonian, right? Just quick on DCL. I mean, we agree that we don't want to take him. The reason being because he's not going to take us to that next level. I'm sorry, Tracy, but Tony, can you just tell the viewers about DCL? I mean, Tracy's in the room, big Evertonian.
Yeah, I mean, look, Calvert-Lewin, for me, I wouldn't want him at Newcastle United, if I'm honest with you. Look, he's done all right for Everton, but he's been at injury quite a lot of injury prone. Last season, 32 games played, 26 started, 7 goals, 2 assists. Not really it's not really a one for scaring defences, is it really, to be honest with you? So for me, Calvert-Lewin would be a bit of an underwhelming signing, in my opinion. If Leicester or Ipswich won him, then I'd rather he weren't there, if I'm honest. But yeah, for me, it just doesn't have that ring to it. I mean, if we want to be an elite club, be in the Champions League, winning trophies, Calvert-Lewin's not the answer, I'm afraid. He really isn't the answer, John.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, right, no disrespect to Tracy, yeah, but we need to go on to the next level. When you've got people, players like Bruno, Joe Linton, Trippier, and Isak, right, quality players we've got on the team, right? They don't want to see other players below that standard as well. No disrespect to Everton, no disrespect to DCL, with the greatest respect. And Tracy, I respect your club big time. I respect your club, your big club. I hope you get this takeover as well, because I think your club wants the best as you're a fan. And, but for me, DCL is not going to be the answer first. He's too injury prone. I don't think he's going to get us 15 to 20 goals a season, and that is the problem. So we go through the comments as well before we go back on England. Your guys been well. It has indeed. Has to Aaron. Hope you're well. You still have hope in this team while that clown is still there. My hope went after the last game. Aaron, do you know what it is, mate? So I'm not going to lie, right? But this manager should be sacked after this tournament, no matter what, because he ain't good enough, right? He's boring. He's negative, right? He's just so passive as well. And every time we get the ball, it passes it backwards every single time. I mean, there's fans paid a couple £100 for that ticket, right? They will be entertained, Tony. They want to be entertained, right? But the problem is, we're not being entertained at all whatsoever. Now, if Serbia have scored equalising goal, I think Serbia would have went on to win that game, to be fair, because we don't have a clue. They made 4 positive changes before the 68 minutes, yeah? We made our first change after 68 minutes, yeah? What does that really tell you? And then, the last game, once each, we need a goal, right? He brings on Gallagher. They take off Arnold. Trent should not be playing in the first place.
No, he shouldn't have been. Shouldn't have been on that. I mean, for me, it's not working with Trent in midfield. It really isn't working, John. So, for me, Trent shouldn't be in that midfield. And like I said before, he needs dropping on Tuesday. if you want to get through in this tournament and you want to win this group, then you've got to drop him, and you've got to go with someone like Gallagher, Mainu, or Wharton, whoever goes in there. Anthony Gordon's got to be on that left-hand side. There's no width on that left. Kieran Trippier's a right back. He's not a left back. So we need the width on the left, and we haven't got that width. I might even go as far as saying drop Saka as well. Because although, he got the assist, but I still think Saka's been poor as well. He hasn't looked his best. So I may go as far as saying drop Saka and put back Jared Bourne there or Cole Palmer. That's the thing, John. It is. It's just one of those. There's a lot there what you could do. I mean, you could use it as an experimental game, but then you don't want it to go wrong where you've got no, you don't get the points and you don't get the group win that you want because you're going to end up going through in second place where you could face Germany. So, it's a case of you're damned if you don't or you're damned if you do. But I just want to see an energized England team go out there and, when you look at Cole Palmer and Anthony Gordon, they're both, they're both the most informed players in the Premier League last season. Anthony Gordon and Cole Palmer have got over 50 goal contributions between them. So, Gordon got 11 goals for us last season, as well as 10 assists, So, look, when you see that them two are on form, play them on the wings. Put Cole Palmer on the right wing and drop Saka and put Gordon on the left and drop Alexander-Arnold, That's the only way that makes sense for me. And that would then mean you've got width on both wings and you got the pace of Gordon as well. So, and he can help Trippier out as well. So, yeah, I'd say that's the way we got to do it, John. That's the way we got to do it. But it's whether Southgate does it that way. That is the difference.
Yeah, facts. Absolute facts. I think as well. I mean, I just think it's too scary. You look at the attacking, when you put the 23 or 26, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I thought, looking at this, this is going to be very attacking, Tony. But unfortunately, right, It's got back to the defensive stuff again. And I'm sorry, but I think we as fans has had enough. We've had enough because Eddie Howe won't play that way. I'm sure Graham Potter won't play that way. They would play attacking football. But, I think those two is going to be on the short list if Southgate does get the sack. And I hope Eddie does stay. Gordon has to play at the very least. He wins throw-ins and corners and gets the team up the pitch. I agree, Key 88. You're absolutely right. No, I agree. He is not going to play at Isak. Definitely not. I out of nowhere is making us catch up. And it's gone to Aaron as well. We should do what Ivory Coast sacked the coach. They went on to win AFCON after that. I blame the FA too. Aaron, I don't think it's sack. I see your point, though. But I just can't see it happening at all.
May happen for one team, John, but may not happen again if you sack him. You're going to have to put Steve Holland in charge, and then it's like, so you may as well just stick with what we've got and just hope to see how far we get. And that's it. I just think if we win this group and get out the group, then who knows? We could be a different team in the knockouts. We were the last time, John. We got out the group. Yes, it was very cagey. We scored 2 goals and didn't concede any in that group and won the group. And then we ended up playing, obviously, Germany in the second round, which we beat them 2-0 comfortably at Wembley. Then we beat Ukraine 4-0 away. Then we beat Denmark 2-1 in the semi-final after Damsgaard's cracking free kick. That was the first goal we conceded in the tournament. In the semi-finals, and then obviously we lost to Italy because we should have won that game. We just sat back.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the rest is history. We're not very good at that. You don't sit back after 3 minutes, and then the other day 10 minutes. You just don't do that,
John. Crazy. The days of sitting back on leads went out years ago. Mourinho used to do it when he first came to Chelsea, but then he stopped doing it because he knew it was a tactic that doesn't work no more. No. And So I don't know why Southgate's constant. But according to Kyle Walker, Southgate isn't telling them to do that. So what's going on? There's something not right. Or have the players lost confidence in Southgate and they just want him out?
Could well be. Could well be. I mean, we don't know what's behind the scenes, Tony. We just don't know. They're only telling us what we want to hear. That's the thing. And when you say that, we're not going to fall over in the arms. We're not going to fall forward to them and believe them. Do you know what I mean? That's what they're telling us. They tell us what we want to hear. They want to shut up. But we think differently. What's the score on Olise? What's his nationality? His first nationality is French. He's a London lad. But Alan is off to Bayern Munich. I want to touch on that in a minute, yeah? Hold that thought, by the way. Would you drop Bellingham back from 10? Do you know what? I would. Playing alongside Declan Rice in a holding role, yeah. Playing Foden's to 10, Saka on the right, Gordon on the left. Then again, I'll even drop Foden. I'll play Cole Palmer as a 10, Gordon on the left, Saka on the right, and Harry Kane up front, because he will not be dropped at all. No way, horse here. He won't. We contact one in a minute. If you go for the comments as well, everyone says French. God bless you all. Thanks, Alfie. Thanks for following us, by the way. He's a big red as well, by the way. And for me, Trent's not a mid. Never have been, never will be.
No.
And I will drop Bellingham back into mid, put Aaron Ford and Palmer to 10 with Gordon and Essie outside on the wings. So it seems to be that Saka could be dropped. And thumbs up as well for Andrew. Andrew, another blue as well, another Evertonian as well. Because Southgate's the defender and is playing in Korea, he thinks the whole England team has to play as defenders. That's one of the biggest problems with him. Exactly, Gary. Exactly. It's Olise not in the French team. He's in the Olympics team, Alan. He's not in the French team, but he's in the Olympics team. And we've got Tino as well. This is a new stream. Yes, it is on my channel. I'll drop Ballas. That's where theatre back, like City did last year. Pickford, Geary, Stones, Walker as we backline. I'll come on to Geary in a minute. My dog pivot would be Rice and Wharton. Calvert, my dog pivot would be Rice Wharton. Calvin Lewin, you happy? No, not Andrew. Sorry, you can keep him. Ballas, Ford and Gordon, Saka behind Keane. And let's go back, right? And I think that's a great comment as well. If I think I might have missed it. Tracy, I mean, number 10 role. I think you answered that question. Got to be number 10 for Ballas, back from 10 to CDM. Because I think you got to play Palmer. In my opinion, drop Forden, play Palmer as a 10.
Yeah, I would go with that as well, John. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got to pick players who are on form. And Anthony Gordon and Cole Palmer are the two form players in the Premier League last season. So why aren't they in the starting lineup? Jared Bourne's another one. Should be in the starting lineup. So maybe you drop Saka and put Bourne there.
Yeah, I agree. Ballas has a 10 with Palmer or Forden. Cool. Yeah, I agree. I mean, look at the other teams, right? I mean, you got Germany, right? Germany's outstanding. Tony, fantastic so far. Musiala, very, very impressive, this guy. Yeah, Tony Cruz rolling back the years. The back four, the centre-back pairing of Tar and Rudiger, outstanding. Then you got Fulberg, right? Fulkrug, right? When he comes on, looks awesome.
Who scored against us?
Yes, he did. He did. And you just couldn't look after him. That's where we lost 2-0. And we got they got Havertz as well. Or according to 29 for Arsenal, but Havertz for Germany. But you know what? If we play Germany, we lose against Slovenia, Denmark wins, we go third, we play Germany, we got no chance of winning that, don't you think? The way Germany is playing.
Well, I mean, look, they didn't really have a... I mean, they found the goals against Hungary, but Hungary was a sterner test than what Scotland was, let's be honest. Scotland's defence was all over the place. So I think if the Germans come up against a good Spanish side, the French side, I think they could struggle. So I'm not sure. Jury's out yet on Germany still. I mean, we'll wait and see how they do in the knockout rounds. But yeah, I mean, if we come up against Germany, they'll probably beat us, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you. Kuba Mintier, thoughts for me. I want him to stay. I don't want him leaving Newcastle United at all whatsoever, Andrew. I really don't. I think it'd be a mistake if we got rid of him. I mean, that means you have to play Miguel Almiron next season. I want this kid to be starting games. I want him to be starting games in Japan. It is simple as that. Look at the two kids out wide, yeah? Necky Williams and also Yamini. What's that? Yamini Yamal. That's the name. Fantastic. They're two fantastic wingers, you know what I mean? Wish you had quality like that, man. Neco Williams, that guy, he's got a 42 million release clause. So I think it'll be more than that. But that guy is absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
What's the stream going to cover, John? Well, we're going to talk about journalists in a minute, and we're going to talk about a bit of Newcastle as well. So we're going to fly through this quickly. We'll talk about England at the minute. And hi to Julie J. Hope you well, Julie. And can just hear the Gallagher singing about Calverton. Calverton, Lewin, you're not fit to wear a shirt. I don't think our fans will sing that. If he can, then we will not be singing. We back the player. We're going to back the guy. And that's better. Got me started. That's the one, Julie. That's the one. So yeah, we're going to talk about journalists, right? I mean, I was seeing a couple of days ago. I kept it really quiet, Tony, right? Some of the journalists, right, is coming out. These makeup journalists, about 10 followers, 20 followers, 30 followers, right, making stories up saying that we've spoken to Michael Alisi, right? Now he's going to Bayern Munich, right? There's no way he's going to get this guy. But these journalists, Tony, just makes up stuff, right? We're not going to mention names, but there's some dodgy ones out there as well. And we as fan base forfeit as well. I mean, what's your take on it, man? I mean, these ITK knows absolutely nothing.
No, I mean, look, these ITK accounts, we know what they're like. We know what certain ones are like for leading people up the garden path. But look, even the journalists, some of these don't know what they're talking about. We were supposed to be signing Trafford. That's gone all quiet now over the fee or whatever. So nothing's been said about that. We were supposed to be linked with players last year that didn't come in, but then different players come in. So the heavy links for Calvert-Lewin, this could just be a smokescreen. It could be somebody else coming in. Who knows? So, that's the thing. It could just be a smokescreen and a different player could walk through the door. But yeah, these journalists, for me, John, I just take whatever they say with a pinch of salt, especially Luke Edwards. I mean, look, he's, for a start, as he's not even a Toon fan, he's a Leyton Orient fan. But I don't take notice of what he says half the time, because half the time he's wrong. Same with Craig Hope as well. He gets things wrong. But look, let's hope they're wrong about Calvert-Lewin. Let's hope that's wrong.
Yeah, the thing is, right, there's a lot of things making up the price tag as well. And the price tag is so miles wrong. 80 million, that person's gone for 70 mil. It's like Alisi, 60 to 65 million release clause, yeah? He's off to Bayern Munich for 45 mil with 5 million add-ons as well. I think it's a cracking move for this guy. However, right, we are going to lose a talent of young players for the Premier League, yeah? Tracy in the chat will know exactly what we're talking about. There's a comment from Mark Douglas, right? And he basically said on a tweet, and I will read it out, the deal's being done by clubs to navigate PSR shows why the whole system has lost credibility. Selling hotels, flogging academy prospects, millions goes out of the game on accountants and lawyers, secret numbers that need to be reached by arbitrary date. What a farce. Bid it. Mark Douglas, Tony, is absolutely bang on the money, yeah? We lost Alisi from the Premier League, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, European clubs, right, are going to look at this and say, right, you know what? Why are they not spending money? Why the Premier League's not spending money? I know why. Because of this PSR, FFP. They cannot spend big bucks now. Do you know what I mean? Let's take advantage of it. Let's take advantage. They done a Harry Kane for 95 million quid last season. Alisi, 50 mil, right? You got all these clubs like Real Madrid, Barca, PSG, Dortmund, right? Bayern Munich, Leverkusen will be faltering around in the Premier League thinking, you know what? Who's that young lad you got? Minty. We're taking, because you know Newcastle can't spend the money, yeah, because they're going to get caught by PSR, right? We're going to offer 40 mil, yeah? So we are going to lose young talents, not just Newcastle, but other clubs like West Ham, Brighton. They're going to lose young talents as well because of PSR. Now, if this allows to happen, Tony, Paolini, I could be off the ban, by the way. If this carries on in the Premier League, right, I think the Premier League's going to be finished, thanks to Richard Masters bringing in this PSR thing, yeah? And I think people probably know what I'm talking about in the chat, right? I think it's going to head that way, Tony, because I tell you now, according to Mark Douglas' tweet, right, Richard Masters is left up at PSR because people ain't going to spend £1 billion in the transfer market anymore. Bearing in mind, we already spent between 80 and 100 million in January. You see the pattern?
Yeah, I mean, John, look, if you look at the last transfer window in January, it was very quiet. Nobody done any business. And I've said this for a long while now, that eventually big players will not come to the Premier League. They'll go elsewhere. And the Premier League will be the biggest losers. Not just the fans, but the whole of the Premier League. And this PSR is killing clubs. And I've said this for quite a while now. I think one day this PSR could even push somebody into administration. You've got clubs that come up last season, Luton Town, Sheffield United, and Burnley, all came up last season from the Championship. All went back down last season.
Yeah.
Why did they all go back down? Because they were frightened to spend too much money in case they got a points deduction. Now, how is this supposed to be a competitive league if you have a points deduction system for overspending and clubs are coming up and thinking, oh, well, we will not overspend, we'll not spend too much, but if we go back down, it's fine, we'll get a parachute payment. But that's not fair because these clubs' fans want to see them in the Premier League year in, year out. Mm-hmm. I'm sure Luton Town fans want to see their club in the Premier League next season. They're not going to. They're going to be back in the Championship. And the thing is, this is where it is killing clubs. And I've said this, it's going to end up pushing the club into administration eventually because the club's going to say, we can't afford it and something's going to happen. Mm-hmm. But it's certainly not fair that clubs are coming up. I mean, look, Leicester now are being in breach of a PSR.
Great.
They'll start off next season, possibly on a points deduction. It's just rotten to the core. It's rotten to the core. Something needs to be done about it. It's not in line with inflation, because if it was in line with inflation, the PSR FFP bar would be raised a little bit higher, and it's not being. So look, to me, it's a farce. It's a farce. And Man City's case ended yesterday. So what we'll do is we now have to wait and see what the arbitration comes back to. Hopefully, if they win this, it's good news for us, good news for a lot of clubs. But we'll have to wait and see on what Man City say. But as I see on the PSR in the Premier League, it's just getting out of hand now, and something has to give. Something has to give. Because it's anti-competitive. That's what it is.
Fat. Absolute fat. And then you got to get young players like Oscar Robb, right? Could be leaving Man City to go to Borussia Dortmund, yeah? It could be that if they get caught with PSR. I don't think they will, by the way. But you got another one, for example, right? I'm going to come on to it as well. Read your comments out first. Had to go shopping earlier and got my new shirt. Size is perfect. Julie, you got the style. And I think Dub's chances has gone right down after that performance yesterday. He was awful, wasn't he, Alan? I'll have to about IDK account. I think it's the club who post the BS to cover up our proper transfer plans. Nobody knows. I agree with Jules to Tino and double stream. I join here as well. Thank you, Julie. Thank you very much indeed for that. I appreciate that. And they took Bellingham too. That's another perfect song. Birmingham.
Yeah.
They're in the Championship. We lost him. With all the talent, right? We're losing them because the Premier League is got done by FFP. Simple as that. That's it. We did agree terms to Trafford, but the fee is out of our price range. Yep, I truly believe that as well. Masters, the slave to his carton Masters. Yep. I tell you, I hope he resigns. I really do hope he resigns. What do you think about Ian Maston to Villa? Great young defender for me. Would have loved to see him at us. I'll tell you what, Tino, I think he'd be fantastic, but we've got Lewis Hall, and I don't think Newcastle will pay 36 mil for him as well, neither, I'm afraid. Because you know why? Because we're caught with the FFP. Big up to Jules, by the way. Hope you're well. And thanks to Transfer Nova too. And Sheffield spent loads. Luton spent about 50 mil. And Burnley spent 40 and already had Premier League players. I'm not sure if Luton spent 50 million quid, Tony. And I don't think Sheffield United spent that much neither. Well,
I don't think they did, no.
No, I can't remember Luton spent 50 mil.
No.
Hi again to Jam. Jam, hope you're well. You guys are going to keep me from cutting the grass. You know what, mate? We're not going to keep you that long, mate. Don't worry about that. The weather's still going to be nice. And it doesn't get dark till about 8 o'clock, half 8 anyway, but there you go. The FFP, there's nothing further about it. Lads, Gary, do you know what it is? We're so peed off about this FFP, PSR, do you know what I mean? That is why, I tell you again, right, for those who I said on Tony's channel, if we now had a takeover, this not be brought up at all whatsoever.
No.
Trust me on that one, guys. Trust us on it. It's not even been mentioned at all whatsoever. Now Newcastle got takeover. Now this has come up. Crazy, isn't it, man? Howie. The Brown Noor saying that the 5 cities isn't one of them, in my eyes, to be fair. Jules, I kind of agree, mate. I read somewhere that more clubs have went bust before FFP and PSO rules has come in. Well, tell you what, we're not going to get bust. I do feel sorry for the teams that's gone bust, yeah, but you've got to spend it on the means as well if it comes to it. Minty has a one good season in the Eredivisie. Yes, good prospect, but people are acting like he's a second in common to Messi. Loads of so-called stars come from the Dutch league and did nothing. Well, Ruud van Nistelrooy came from the Dutch league. Amazing. Marco van Basten, Ruud Gullit, Frank Rijkaard, yeah, all came over, did it. But I see where you're coming from, Phil, in a way. And Reinders as well came for Alkmaar, gone to East Milan. He's going to be a superstar in a couple of years. That guy is brilliant. And in the Prem, thank you very much for that. Phil, do you know how many Newcastle News accounts I've encountered in the last 3 days? Tony, we've got to talk about that, man. I've seen names of NUFC accounts, right, on social media, on YouTube, right? And again, half of them don't even know.
Yeah, exactly. They don't know nothing, John. That's the problem. They think they know everything, but they don't. There is a few credible ones out there, but a lot of them are just more like talk BS.
Yeah, fact. We got Mancini away in the room as well. Big up to Martin. I'll come to your comment in just a bit. Is it anti-competitive? I agree. Chase said, they're trying to reverse. We got done for no sporting advantage. We got done on interest rates on an infrastructure, on a new stadium, which we had to build. That, you know what? That as well. You know what it is, Tracy, right? I mean, these points deduction is an utter disgrace. Yes, he said there's one advantage. And I tell you what, you should, I mean, I bet you're glad you stayed up. Glad you stayed up, by the way. Do you know what I mean? And that's our old stadium isn't safe. Do you know what? I think your stadium, Chase, is an amazing stadium. It looks nice. Have you seen the new stadium, Tony? It looks nice, to be fair.
Yeah, the Everton Stadium, yeah, it does. Yeah. I mean, John, there's another name coming up here as well, who apparently we are interested in signing, which, which to be honest with you, I didn't really hear of him, to be fair, but he's only 23 years of age and he plays for Feyenoord, so he obviously played alongside Minty last season.
Yeah.
The captain of Feyenoord. Lacharel Gitruda. Apparently, we are looking at him. He plays right back, centre back, so he's a right side centre back, but he can also play in the defensive midfield. Ground jewels and consistency is his strength. He's got no weaknesses. He started 34 games, played all 34, got 8 goals and 5 assists. And his ball recoveries per game is 5.4, and he was involved with 15 clean sheets last season. Look, he had 2 errors that led to a shot, but none that led to a goal, and he didn't give any penalties away. And he also picked up 2 yellow cards all season. So 23 years of age, Lacharel Gitruda. I mean, look, sounds like a great player. Do you rate him, John?
I don't watch the VC that much, Tony, to be fair, but going to those stats, it looks very, very impressive. 3 for the price of 1. Plays right back, centre back, CDM. 3 for the price of 1. Obviously, he must be that good, fantastic player because finals won the VC. Yeah, so they must have rated this guy very, very highly. He will be watched. Yeah, and again, Arne Slot might be a big fan of this guy. So he's a young lad. I think it gone good.
came on last night against France for Frimpong in the 73rd minute. So he played 17 minutes and he had 20 touches of the ball. 20 passes out of 20 were accurate 100%. And that was it. That's all he did all game. So obviously he didn't have a lot to do. But yeah. So, but yeah, it's another one we're linked with. So we'll see what happens. But he's a right-sided centre-back, so that makes it good. 35 million euros is his price tag. So
30 million quid.
That's about what, 30 million,
yeah. I think, if anything else to Kieran Trippier, then it could be a fantastic replacement. We shall see. Villa were rumoured to take the Premier League to court. That's from Julie. Yes, I've heard that, Julie, as well, because Douglas Luiz could be off to Juve with 2 players coming the other way. Now, Villa are exciting because of the FFP. I don't think Douglas Luiz wants to leave Villa. He loves Villa. He loves that football club, yeah? Now he's coming to Juve, right? Eventually. And again, another fantastic player is going to leave the Premier League, FFP. He's a victim of it, Tony. Yeah, we're starting to lose players now of this ridiculous PSR.
Yeah, absolutely, John. It's just getting beyond the joke now. This is what I'm saying. Players are having to leave. And the thing is, Villa's in the Champions League next season, so they want to try and keep players like Douglas Luiz, but knowing that now they've got to cash in on them because they've got to make sure they're not overspending. It's just wrong. It's just totally and utterly wrong. And something needs to be done about it, that's for sure. Yeah, so need to do something about it.
I totally agree. It's just getting worse. Keep those comments coming in, guys. Make sure you smash the likes as well. Make sure you become a member for 99p. And Super Chat is open as well. And we'll go back to the channel as well. Thank you very much. And thanks for that, Julie. It's not the case. It was arbitration. That has nothing to do with PSR. It was a rule on sponsorship and owners, etc. And whether the rules match UK law media did a poor job explaining this to the public. Martin, I agree with everything that you have to say. I think you'll win this. I hope you win this. And all Newcastle fans as well, hoping that you do as well. I mean, Tony, fantastic comment there from Martin. He is so right again. So right. He's a Man City fan, he knows. And he also added as well, Masters didn't put PSR in the clubs, 14 of them, and he did their bidding.
Yeah, and our fat Cockney was one of them that put that in there as well because he decided to vote for it. Well, nobody voted for it because, he wasn't going to spend a lot of money. So, I mean, the arbitration case that obviously Man City had in, yes, it was nothing to do with PSR. We know that. It's all about the rule on sponsorships and owners, etc. I mean, look, if they win this case, it's a good case for them to win as well. People are automatically thinking that if Man City win this case, their 115 charges case will go away. That's a separate thing. I believe Man City are still disputing a lot of that, and we're not going to go into the ins and outs of that. We're nothing to do with Man City. But look, if let's hope they've won this arbitration, and it may help us out in our future sponsorship as well.
Yeah, that absolutely. But I just hope, Martin, relying on you, mate, you can do this. And at this point, at time, Trafford isn't worth more than 20 mil max, to be fair. Do you know what? I'll just forget about them now because they're not going to lower the valuation as well. I'll agree with Julie. And hi to Alan as well. If the Premier League starts losing players in any number, they will scrap PSR. The last thing Premier want to lose is the richest league thing. I have no words about that. This is exactly what we talk about, Alan. Do you know what I mean? Alice Cook from TalkSport made a bloody good point this morning. You know what I mean? They could be in big, big trouble in the Premier League. Massive, massive trouble if they lose top stars. You know what? I could see Erling Haaland one day. Real Madrid could be coming after him. Do you know what I mean? That would be absolutely shocking to lose Haaland in the Premier League. Go on, Tony.
Yeah, I mean, look, Martin makes a great point here. He says this is becoming the American owners versus Middle Eastern owners. As American owners want the Premier League to become the Super League Fans of those clubs are blind to it. They want football around the world. And he's absolutely right. You're absolutely right, Martin, because look, we've seen it with Bowley at Chelsea. Now, as soon as Bowley bought Chelsea, what did he say straight away? He wants a playoff at the end of the season. The North versus the South. Right, Bowley, for once thing, this is not American football. This is not the NFL. This is not the MLS. You do not have playoffs like that over here. If you want to stick with things like that, go back and buy your club in the MLS and do it over there. But do not bring it in the Premier League. I do not want to see a playoff at the end of the season, the North versus the South. What a load of tosh that is. It's just absolutely scandalous. But then Chelsea fans won't say nothing because, it's Todd Bowley, it's their owner, he's doing everything for them. It's a load of crap. Who's going to get the revenue from that game? Why do you need that game? Do we need that game at the end of the season? No. We know straight away as soon as the European Super League was going to come up the first time around, before the fans kicked up about it. Liverpool's owner, John Henry, was the first one who instigated it all. He started it all. He went and talked to Florentino Perez over at Real Madrid and said, do you want to start a Super League? So if people think John Henry's squeaky clean, he's far from it. The man's a prick at the end of the day. He was the one who wanted the teams to start a Super League. Then the Glazers joined in. Then obviously they got Perez roped in. Then the Barcelona, Juan Laporta got roped into it, as well as Juve. And then eventually when all the clubs did get involved in it, then when fans started kicking off, clubs started pulling out of it, and rightly so. Because at the end of the day, we don't want a European Super League. What we want to see the teams play in the Premier League year in, year out. We don't want no Super League. I mean, it was supposed to be going to be a closed group and everything like that. That's not right. No relegation, no promotion, no nothing, just a closed group. It stunk. It stunk of corruption to high heavens. It really did. And, I know, yes, it's okay. It's won its case now, but, because it's had to change the way it wants to do stuff. And I believe that may come in and target the Champions League, and it could compete with the Champions League. But we'll wait and see. But when it come around first time round, I agree with Martin. A lot of these, it's American owners that are doing it. And, I don't want to ever see that North versus South game in the Premier League, because I wouldn't even turn it on to watch it. I would rather watch something else. Even if I had to watch Dan Ashworth do his garden, I'd rather watch that than watch 90 minutes of the North versus the South.
Fact. Absolute fact. And the thing is, though, Toto, I hate to tell you this, Tony, but the Super League, the Premier League is our Super League. You look at it now, the top six can spend what they want. The rest of them can't spend what they want. We've got the Super League. We've already got it. We've already got the Super League. Yeah? I'm sorry. We have got the Super League now because top six spend what they want and 14 cannot. So, do the maths. It is absolutely ridiculous.
I mean, you go back, John, to when our owners took over the football club. And obviously we still had that Sports Direct stuff around the stadium. And it was about 4 weeks into the ownership, Amanda Staveley came out and she said, I am sick of this. She says, I can't even have a photograph anywhere in the stadium without a Sports Direct sign in the background. She said, it doesn't matter where I stood in the stadium or where anybody stood in the stadium, every photograph has a Sports Direct sign on it. And she was right. So she said, we're taking action. We're taking them down. Now, yes, we know the Fat Cockney wasn't happy because there was an agreement that they had to stay up till the end of the season. But you can't blame Amanda if she's turned around and got sick of seeing them. I mean, it was a mess. That's all it was. Everywhere was either Sports Direct, Flannels, Fraser's, all these rubbish companies that he's got. All these ones he's saving off the high street and things like that. The game shop and things like that. And look, it was everywhere. So she took them down. But the minute those boards came down, the first club to pipe up and shout, we need a vote. Leicester City's owner, Top. Because I can't pronounce his full name, but the nickname Top, the owner's son, the owner who sadly died. Now then, when Top decided that he wanted the Premier League to bring a vote in to stop sponsorships being too high, That was a sign of panic, not only from Leicester, but through the Premier League. Although Man City weren't bothered because they abstained from that vote. The thing is, though, right, when the Premier League brought that out, I was like, yeah, this is deliberately done to target us. That was in case we brought the likes of a Ramcoin for 60, 70 million pound a season. That was to stop all that. That was to limit us to what they call a fair market value. Now, I think this fair market value is anti-competitive. You know, it would be like, say, Sainsbury's bringing a sponsorship in to help their stores to boost their money up, to boost their revenue. You know, if Sainsbury's brought in a store like a sponsorship to help them, and then Tesco's or Aldi say, "Oh no, you can't do that. We're not having this. We're not having this. Whoa, you can't do that." Well, it wouldn't happen. So it shouldn't be happening in the Premier League. At the end of the day, there should be no limits on what your sponsorship should be able to bring into the club. I understand they don't want it brought in like that because, like I say, they were worried that we were going to get 60 or 70 million pound sponsorships a season, which would have pushed our FFP rate up, which meant we could spend more. And that's what they're trying to do. They are trying to suppress us, John. They are trying to suppress us, and that is what they are trying to do to us. And, you know, eventually it's going to come out that it's anti-competitive.
Yeah, fat. Leave it in the comments, guys, what you think of Tony's rant there. He's absolutely right. I mean, what I've got to tell you something else as well, right? That I will say before I go on to Tristan's comments, go and tell Real Madrid, right, you can't have that sponsorship because it's unfair. They're on 75 million a season on a 5-year deal. 75 million a season. Go and try and stop them. Because I tell you something now, you do that, dab you for absolutely for breakfast sort of thing. Yeah, can you imagine Richard Masters being, you know, like Jimmy Sec for La Liga? I tell you what, he'd be gone in 2 days. I'm telling you, they won't pull up with that. So, I think you should have what you want. It's your club. What does Eddie Howe's doing with Calvert-Lewin and Neto? Where does that show improving the squad, please, Tony? This won't get us top 4. No decent players. Link just lower teams in the Prem. Not all of that, Tristan. All about winning the trophies, mate.
It doesn't, John, doesn't. And you know, Tristan's comment there, if you go back to it, I mean, look, it's just beggars belief. And look, and when I say things, I know people are going to be unhappy with what I'm going to say, but where's the ambition of this club? Calvert-Lewin, James Trafford, look, where is the ambitions for this club? Where does this club want to be? When Amanda came in, when Jonas come in, she said, we got a 5 to 10 year plan. We want to be Champions League. We want to be winning trophies, things like that, win the Premier League. Is Calvert-Lewin going to win you a trophy? Is Calvert-Lewin going to be great enough to be playing in the Champions League? No. Is he? Heck, he's rubbish. He's not that great. You know, maybe Trafford, okay, in a few years' time, maybe he may come good. But again, that's the one that's in the balance. Why aren't we scouting Europe for young talent out there? There is plenty of it. Not just Europe, South America. All these teams are getting South Americans in, youngsters.
Mm-hmm.
And that turned out to be great players. You got Joe Gomez, who plays for Wolves. He's not a bad player.
Class.
You know, there's players we could have had last season. Alan Varela, a great defensive midfielder, youngster.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's gone to Portugal now because we didn't want to bring him in. We could have had Adam Morton last summer. But no, Andy Pandy, Eddie Howe's nephew, decides, no, we don't want him. He's in the Championship. He's not good enough. Well, he's proven you wrong now, isn't he? And the thing is, why is Andy Pandy in charge of these transfers? Because it's beyond the joke, this. It really is. And I tell you now, if this is the ambition of the club, bringing in the likes of Calvert-Lewin, then I'm sorry, the days of us going to be an elite club isn't going to be there for a very long time. It's like a lot of fans are saying, oh, it's like we've got the previous owner back, because that's the sort of signing we would make under the previous owner. Why are we making it under this ownership who've got money? I understand that. Yes, we know the PSR's there, but the fact we didn't spend in January, surely we have got more money to spend now in the summer. Plus, when you think we've got the Champions League money, we've got the seller sponsorship money coming
Yeah.
through the door as well. So I just question this. Is it because this is Eddie Howe again and he wants to bring these players in? And look, I don't want to be too critical of Eddie Howe, but I tell you now, if Eddie Howe does not get off to a great start next season, he will be sharply swifted out that exit door. And I'm telling you that now, John, that will happen. If he struggles next season, he's gone. He's gone. And I know there's people out there who, say, oh, you can't say that about Eddie Howe. Well, sorry, can't we just speak truthfully for once? Because at the end of the day, you've got to be honest, I want to see Newcastle United win trophies. I want to see where, us do well. But I don't want to see us, especially when we got the money. I want us to see us do something. I'm not saying go out there and splash £500-600 million in a transfer window. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is let's bring the decent talent in that's out there. Not just relying on English players because, the language barrier and things like that. Don't just rely on the experience for the Premier League. Get players from abroad. There are some great players abroad. We seem to be missing out on them players. They seem to go off to other clubs. Valentino Barco's another one. A young left-back from Argentina. He's gone to Brighton for 10 million quid. He'll probably be at Chelsea in 2 years' time on a £150 million deal. Who knows? That's what normally happens. But you see, Brighton do that. They're bringing this talent from South America. So why aren't we doing it, John?
Exactly. Maybe you should get like a South American scout coming in to help us out then. Don't know what I mean? Because I don't think we've got one. That is the thing. But well said. With 5 minutes comments as well. Big up to Sophie, by the way. Amazing stream, guys. Thank you very much indeed, Sophie. Do subscribe to Guna Gossip TV. Fantastic channel as well. She gets all the big names on there as well. Laura Woods included. Didn't win the VCPSV. Did, yeah. Apparently, Van Nistelrooy is being linked to Burnley. His nephew doesn't give him confidence when it comes to transfers, to be fair. That's from Jules. Burnley spent 88 million. Thanks for that, Tino. Afternoon to Ian. Hope you're well, mate. And also got here Jules chatting together, which I think is good. And afternoon to Mr. Fleming. Hi to Foxy. Douglas Luiz loves Alicia Lehman, not Aston Villa. Interesting. But see your point. Couple comes from Jason here, lads. You've seen the newest thing to be announced. Apparently, they made a player plus cash offer for Wolves defender Max Kilman. Players understood to be Elliot Anderson's been rejected. And also, if it's true, what is Eddie thinking? That's come for the Telegraph as well. I believe that is James. Is that James Percy? I think it's James Percy. It might be James Percy. I could be wrong. John Percy from the Telegraph. Tony, what do you make of that, man? I mean, Max Kilman, and Elliot Anderson exchange. I tell you what, going back to what Jason's saying, if that's true, what is Eddie's thinking?
I mean, I think Max Kilman's a good centre back. I really do. I mean, look, I like the kid.
I like him.
But
good player.
But yeah, Anderson, no. I would rather ship Longstaff out ahead of Anderson if I'm honest, in all my opinion. So yeah, I'm not 100% not 100% sure on that one. But again, we'll see what happens. I mean, look, I just want to go to Tino's comment there, and I'm trying to think where it is now. That he said, I can't find it now. Sorry, John. Oh, there it is. He says it's in the contract. She shouldn't have started taking down this advertising boards. I mean, look, the thing is, though, at the end of the day, I get what you mean. It's a contract, and yes, she shouldn't be taking down the boards. But if you look at it, the thing is, if you look at it, she's done it for a reason, because you're sick of the Sports Direct signs, and rightly so. And I don't blame her doing it. So yeah, I get where you're coming from, saying that she shouldn't have taken them down. But at the end of the day, she was doing it for a reason, because she was sick of it. She was sick of the sight of Sports Direct everywhere in the stadium, like all us fans were sick of. So I applaud her for doing it. And do you think Amanda Staveley cares if Ashley wants to take a lawsuit for 10 million quid? Not really, Cost of the Saudis, 10 million quid. That's just dropped in the ocean. There you go. No problem. Off your pop.
50p, 50p, 50p.
You know, so at the end of the day, I don't blame her for taking them down. And who cares if we're in a contract or not? Not against him anyway. Do you agree, John?
Oh, 100%, 100%. I tell you what, we win that. They'll win that game. Ashley's history. He's done. He's gone. He is done. This is fast coming American owners versus Middle East owners. I think you read that, Tony. As American owners wants the Premier League to become the Super League, and fans of those clubs are buying blind to it. They want football around the world, and also added, this is to make the Premier League look bad when they say, let's go around the world, let's them money, make some money, etc., or part of the master plan. Yep, you said it, Martin. You're absolutely right. Calvin Lewin, not for me. Details on 100k a week. What's how I was thinking? 100k a week. I didn't know that. But I tell you something now. We pay 100k a week to him, to injured prone player. Not for me. Sorry. Do you not like him, Jules? Chelsea fans hate Todd and call him an idiot, Tony. That's from Tino. The Premier League will become a Super League. Why did Glaciers? Premier League will become Super League. Why did Glaciers only sell 25? Liverpool only wanted to sell 30. They know what's coming. Absolutely, man. Tally Hall, Southgate must change the system. Yep, indeed. We've tried for his comments and they're going to close the show in a minute. Just chat to Ian. And media said nothing on Standard Chartered. And the court case, they are in over the links to naughty things. Let's say we'll respect John's chat. Fair dues.
Wow.
Wow. What do you think of that, Tony?
Yeah, well, there's obviously something there in it, and yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, I don't know the ins and outs of it or what's in it, so but yeah,
wait and see.
Something to do with John Henry in it.
Yep, could be. Jules the man wears women's handbags and more than modelling and football. Why would you sign him? Eddie said no, dickheads. Yeah, Calvin models when he is out injured. Yeah, I heard about that as well. Maybe you should take up a modelling career. Sorry, Tracy, if you're in the chat. I'm only joking. There should be a rule so but anyone American banning more Premier League club lads. Yeah, that's a fair shout. Well, maybe Hal feels sorry for the medical staff and not having to do. That's why we buy injured prone players. I tell you what, that should come to an end. First. We cannot spend what we want, John. We have the anchor now that prevents that. City can't do Bruno's as 100 quid. 100 quid.
100 mil.
100 mil. It's too much of fun. That's a weird beer. One of the highest anchor stops it. Sorry about that, Martin. And he'll pull us right. Great stream, lads. See you. Hope it's the next one. Just can't wait for the pen to start again. 5 in a row and coming. If England don't win the Euros, I hope Spain wins it. Yeah, I think they look a tasty side. Spain and Drew looks fantastic. To be fair, if it's in a contract, she shouldn't have taken them down. That's Tino. And have you seen they might be getting rid of these rules and we can get a Marco Asella has been winding over fees. I hope that's true. The Premier League should stop using the word fair cause because they don't know what it means, it seems. Could be. So on Jules, been trying to stop it.
Yeah, I think the reason that they're winding over the fees is because obviously Salah want to pay. I think Salah want to pay more for our sponsorship, but obviously they're not allowed to, are they? So I can see why they're not happy.
Yeah, exactly. The fella presumes you mean Guy Porto's someones were looking at a cheaper option as around 55 million release clause. That's from fella.
That's the one, John, because Alan Varela, as I say, you know, we were linked. We were heavily linked with him last year, Varela. And it just, you know, 22-year-old Argentinian. And look, he's a terrific midfielder. He's a defensive midfielder or centre midfielder. Long balls and positioning are his strengths. I mean, Porto signed him for €8 million, John. We should have been all over that. €8 million, you know, and now he's got a £55 million release clause. I mean, the thing is, €8 million. You're talking about £5 million for a player of that quality, and yet, you know, and when you think back to last season when Tonali got suspended, and we had a midfield crisis. We could have been crying out. We were crying out for someone like that to be in our midfield, and he could have been in our midfield, and we would have only paid £5 million. And this is what really gets me, John, because there's talent out there. And I think even Foxy will tell you Varela's not a bad player at all. And the thing is, we could have had him, John, for £5 million. And again, I feel it's a player that we've let slip through our fingers. Either being too slow to catch call or whatever. Something's going on, John, in the club. And look, you know, it could have been Ashworth not liking him, but we know Steve Nixon's been over South America doing some scouting. But the thing is, though, why are we missing out on these players, John? Why?
We haven't got a sporting director. We haven't got a director of football. That's what it is. Do you know what I mean? And who's controlling? And who's controlling this?
Yeah.
Who's controlling transfers? That's the thing. And are they quick enough to get them? Do you know what I mean? We need a South American scout to help us out. Do you know what I mean? To get the best young talent through. Look at the Brighton way. Look at the way Brighton does it. Alexis McAllister, yeah? You mentioned him. João Pedro, you mentioned him. The fullback they just bought from Boca, yeah? Let's be real. And they've got loads of American players out there. Simple as that. Here we are. We're just getting English players, injury-prone players. Oh, big ass belief, big ass belief. Forget DCL, bring in Benteke to make me happy. No, thank you, Foxy. You now offered Elliot Anderson plus cash for Max Kilman of Wolves. Hope that's not the case. I like Kilman, by the way. Fine, thanks being out in the sun. Hope you enjoy the sunshine, Ian. And Calvert-Lewin, if fit, is a proven striker, very good in the air and a great worker. I would rather buy Nout and stick with what we have got over signing Calvert-Lewin. Eddie Howe is a racist source Fontant. He's obsessed with people he wants at a Bournemouth. I mean, I don't want him to turn like Bournemouth, mate. I really don't. Because I tell you now, right, I think he needs to start well next season. I really do think he needs to. Let Anderson go to Wolves, to be fair. I don't rate him. Kilman is a great centre-back. That's Santino.
From the Telegraph, John.
Yep.
From the Telegraph, Newcastle United make a player plus cash offer for Wolves defender Max Kilman. Player understood is to be Elliot Anderson, but the proposal from Wolves has been rejected. Interest has grown in Kilman, homegrown versus good appearances record. West Ham had a bid turned down on Friday as well.
Wow. I mean, John Percy is normally accurate his chances as well. But
would you be happy at losing Elliot Anderson?
I'll still keep Elliot because I think he's got something to offer. I really, really do think he's got something to offer. Do you know what I mean? But Kilman, I think he's a great centre back. He could have gone to Napoli. If Napoli offered 35 mil, he goes to Napoli. But they don't want to go above 30 mil.
And according to the Chronicle now, West Ham are now inquiring about Callum Wilson.
Yeah, I've seen that as well from Magpie Media, Brendan. Yeah, I've seen that as well. They're going to come to them in the next couple of years. That's interesting. Just join. Can see on Sky Sports that we are on talks with Calvert-Lewin. We don't want him. Good point. That there's still a thing. There's still a thing on this. Yep, I'm with you. Eddie's not a racist, Tristan. Definitely not. And shout out to Ian. I think Ian might have. We've had this comes to a closer show as well. Do apologise, guys. How does this? What I'm out. But then again, it's a Telegraph, so shaft to be fair. If you think it's out of his depth, then fine, that's your opinion, but he's not a racist, so don't say it or you'll be timed out. That's Ian's on the mods. And there's an ungry thing about Ashley ever did, and that's what sell the club, lads. Yep, you said it, Gary. Hang on, how about did Sports Direct pay us, give them the fair going rate, 1.5 mil for what was left on the contract? That's a fair shout, Tony.
Yeah, John, absolutely. He paid sod all into the club for his advertising of all his companies, so yeah, it doesn't matter if we're in a contract or not. We'll take them down regardless. Stuff him. Stuff the fat cockney.
Yeah, exactly.
We all hate him. The only decent thing he did was sell the club.
Yeah.
That's the best thing he's done for Newcastle United in the 14 years he was there, selling the club.
Yeah.
And I applaud him for that.
Yes.
That's the only thing I'll applaud him for.
Yeah. Thank you. Exactly that. Couple of days, the sun's on the northeast, and someone at Newcastle has sunstroke, really worrying these linked players. I like it. Well, it's all news now. Missed the chance last summer. Same with Hesse to Olympiacos. Argentina still have plenty of cheaper options, and Equil, Fernandez, Odones, Irala. Very interesting names as well. And the rates we're going, we are just building to just be a top 10 club and not looking to become a force to be reckoned with. Great style required, or Eddie will be at the job centre. I'm sorry to say it. Don't apologise. You speak your mind, Jason. Simple as that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind losing Walt Anderson. He ain't all that. That is from Tino. We can't sell or trade Anderson if we get in Europe next season. We need him as a homegrown club grown as well. Connor, House are happy with the potential sell of Minte, but because of PSR and Saudi market opening 17th of July, the club needs to sell Minte for PSR. Connor, I sell other players before Minte.
Yeah.
Just got on. We'll catch you later, lads. You take care, Andrew, man, and we're just going to sign off in a bit. Porto, Benfica get their players as a lot of their time are only a percentage of the player, and they're always a sell-out clause. English clubs can't have shared ownership of players as in Phil. That's a great point. Gashley fought 100 mil from Maxi, J7, and Willock. Yes, he did. Remember Tevez and Mascherano, I can. And what I am VT Tony. Random question there.
I'm not sure what I'm having tonight. I don't know yet. But going back to that question, what Tino said, he spent 100 million on Joe Linton. Was it Maxi and and Willock? Right. Yeah. Let's be honest there. Okay, might have put out 100 million on them, but they're all on installments. Mm-hmm. He's gone. We are paying for them players now, not him. So he didn't spend 100 million on them players. He's not the knight in shining armor. The problem as well with him as well, the former owner, because I do not like to mention that man's name, because that man's name is just, I just can't mention his name because he's just a horrible man. This was the same man, even though there was with the FFP. What he didn't get was he thought it was great to go out and buy the players and hand the cash straight over without paying in installments. He thought handing the cash fully out helped your FFP and helped bump it up. When it realised that no, it doesn't, it just lowers your FFP more because you're paying out in one lump sum. The guy had to take out a bank loan from Barclays to buy Almiron, and people can check that out. That was well documented. He took out a loan from Barclays for £21 million to go and buy Almiron. But it wasn't until somebody told him that you have to go through installments first to get your FFP up rather than paying straight out, because he thought paying out in full cash was the answer, and it clearly wasn't. But you see, he left our club in dire straits like that because he could have had sponsorship coming through the door, but he failed to do so.
Exactly. So it's all done on him. Can't feel sorry for him. Can't feel sorry for him at all. Tell him to get.
No, I feel sorry for that man.
Nah, definitely not. And last comment of the day: don't have beans Tony you're destroyed a new shirt yet. Oh man. Brilliant, Phil. Brilliant. On that bombshell, mate, we're going to wrap the show up because I know it's 5:15 early, and it's been 2 shows today. One on yours, one on mine. It's been fantastic, and so thanks for the chat, guys. Tony, where could we find you, man? For those who don't know.
Yeah, so you can find me on my channel behind me, which is on the back screen there. It's there you are. It's all black and white TV. I've just done a show earlier, a transfer show with John on there. So if you want to catch that, you can do. Head over, smash a like on it, smash the subscribe. If you're not subscribed to the channel, I'm 15 away from 1,200 now. And I'll have a show tomorrow. I'm not sure what I'm doing yet, but there'll be a show at some point tomorrow. So keep an eye out for that as well. There'll be a pre-match show on Tuesday for the England game. Let's hope we can win that one against Slovenia. But yeah, thanks for having me on again, John. And as usual, thank you.
Fantastic stuff. We go through this comments round, and if you just follow It's All Black and White TV and Tony's channel as well, I think everyone must know it anyway. I think the word mud comes into mind, Tony, mate, when you speak of him, mate. Yep. And Irala, San Lorenzo, Adonis from Vélez Sarsfield, Fernandez for Boca Juniors, who will also be playing for Argentina in the Olympics. Keep an eye on him. We will do, Foxy, no doubt about it. And then Newcastle will be all over those players. You too, Ian. Thanks for coming on, mate. And you as well. So, guys, you're going to sure. Thanks for the chat as well. And if you like what we watch, make sure you like and subscribe. And I'll see you back very, very soon. And Julie says, you take care, Jay. Watch what you're doing. And I'm nearly on 11,000 subs anyway. So keep those numbers coming up as well. And come on. Yes. And as always, have a fantastic evening. And it is the winner, lads.